Hey y'all, it's Leslie. Welcome back to my crazy catty life. Today is Monday, December 21st. No, it's the 22nd because yesterday was the solstice. Happy solstice, y'all. Um, anyway, welcome back. This is my FlossTube channel, mostly about cross stitch, a little bit about life. And I'm here to talk to you today about what I've been stitching on. This is FlossTube number 156. If you're back for more of my same craziness, welcome back. Condolences on the idiocy that is frequently my life. And if you're new, welcome, and I hope that you find something that you enjoy. I have not had a whole lot of stitching time, so this is going to be relatively short, but I did want to share with you what I've been working on. My busyness has been just life. My kittens are all doing well. The youngest ones were 4 weeks old this past Friday, and they're so cute, y'all. They run over to the edge of the crate as soon as they see me, and they're climbing up the bars because they want to come out and be loved on. And they are just the sweetest three little lilac lynx girls. And unfortunately, the one I thought I might keep has a tail kink, so she will go as a pet. So I don't think I'll get to keep one of these babies, but that's okay. It's Sunny's first litter, and I got time. I breed cats, by the way. Anyway, kittens are all doing good. Nothing else to report about that. None of the other girls I don't think are pregnant. Cats are seasonal breeders. They typically start coming back into season around the winter solstice. So both Sunny, the stud boy, and I will be glad when that happens. He looks like he's taking a nap right now. His run is right over here beside me. The 4 dogs are all here in the office. You may hear doggy snoring. There are kitties in here, so you may see kitties running past. So just the usual insanity. The other reason I've been really busy is that we have offered to convert our garage into basically a mother-in-law suite for my friend Susan. Her adrenal insufficiency is severe enough that it's just not safe for her to be by herself. So she has no other family. She moved here from Maine to be near me. We've been friends for 20 plus years. And so we're going to be adding a carport and converting our garage. And I built a house with my ex-husband back in 1993. And I had forgotten what a colossal pain in the buttski that it is. I mean, it's fun and it's, I guess, can be entertaining. But at this point in my life, I just want it done. We're still in the, we've interviewed contractors. We've decided on a contractor. The contractor and the plumber will actually be here tomorrow morning to talk about what needs to be done. Because, there's all kinds of stuff like trenching into the concrete in the garage to lay plumbing. And I don't think it's going to be fun. But it's the right thing to do to have her come live with us so she can basically have a family that loves her and wants to help her be taken care of. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. And I'm just tired. my fibro gets the best of me. I take a lot of naps, and so I haven't gotten a lot done. But anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We had a good Thanksgiving. I'm missing my son and grandson. They're in Florida with my daughter-in-law, and I don't get to see them much. I wish they were going to be here for Christmas, but it is what it is, right? Careful, Altie. Altie is up here on the shelves above my desk. She'll probably dive bomb us at some point. It would not surprise me if she knocked something down right on top of my head. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened, but anyway, keep your fingers crossed. But let's get started and talk about cross stitch, since that's actually what you're here to see. I actually had 2 finishes. The first of which was Brenda Gervais' Seasons of the Heart, and I did the winter one. And I finished this, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, give or take. And here it is. Sorry, I didn't pull out the board. That would have required foresight and planning. I'm very happy with how this came out. This is stitched on, let me look at my list. 40 count needle and flax from, 40 count Dolly Madison from Needle and Flax. And I stitched this with, I started with the white. And the white was very tight. And I don't like that, that pulling tight sensation when, hello, Vicky. When you pull your thread through and it kind of rubs on the fibers of the linen, that irritates me. It's just a feeling I don't like. So I started with the white, and the white was very tight with just a regular silk floss. The white is a Silks for You white. So I started with that and decided that I wasn't going to have much fun doing that. So I actually stitched then the rest of it in, what did I do with them? 100.3 silks. I don't have, I have some, but I don't have a whole lot of 100.3s. But I did pull from my stash, so my color palette was kind of limited, but it worked. It's fine. I'm happy with it. And it's done. And I plan to finish this when I have some finishing time as a flat fold. I planned all week last week to get that done, and somehow just time got away from me and I did not. But I think it's very cute, and I will do the others, finish them all similarly, and probably change them out seasonally. And I'm happy with that. I think it's very cute. What's not to like? It's Brenda Gervais, right? The next thing I finished, and I had started both of these about the same time, was Christmas Swan, also from Brenda Gervais. I seem to stitch a lot of Brenda Gervais, like I think most of us kind of do. Anyway, I thought that's very pretty. I've also stitched the Summer Swan, and I will also finish those similarly. And I have the patterns for the other two, and I also plan to finish them. But anyway, this is the one I got finished a couple weeks ago. And this is Christmas Swan. The linen is a 36 count Lakeside. I think it's called French Lilac. And I'm very happy with it. I was afraid that my white would not show up adequately on that, but it does. And I just think that it's not what I would call a traditional color for a Christmas stitch, but I think it's really pretty. I like it a lot. My only alteration to this pattern, well, let me rephrase that. My only purposeful alteration, because I alter things accidentally all the time, is I did not put the stems on the trees. I didn't think it needed it, and I thought it would, I didn't think it needed it, and I didn't do it. But there is my finish of Christmas Swan from Brenda Gervais, and I like it. Obligatory FlossTube selfie pose. That won't be the one they pick. They'll pick the one when the cat falls on my head, but that's the one I chose. And I have no earthly idea what I have done with the silks that I stitched this with. They were just miscellaneous silks, again, pulled from my silk stash. I don't know if I stuffed them in another bag. Who knows? But they were just random silks. So I finished those two things, and I've also had a couple of starts that I'll show you. Sorry, cat hair. Imagine that. That I'll show you in a minute. But I did pull out this past weekend a whip. This is American Sampler from Paulette at Plum Street. And I have always really liked this, but I thought it was kind of dark. It just didn't, I wasn't engaged by it, per se. Pardon me. And then, several months ago, I saw, is it Carrie? Tiger Lily Designs on, I follow her on Instagram, and y'all should if you're not. But she had posted a conversion that she did, and she had brightened up the colors significantly. And really, when I saw that, I thought, oh, I have to do that. So I am doing Tiger Lily's conversion of American Sampler from Plum Street. I did purchase, I pulled a couple of silks from Stash, and a few of them I already had, but I did purchase the majority of these to do this. Her conversion is on Instagram if you're interested in doing that. And back, I don't know, this past summer, I did start American Sampler. And, oh boy, something to put behind it, something to put behind it. You think I'd plan ahead and get that board out, but, you know, you'd be wrong. There, that's better. Now you can't see through it. So here is my version of Tiger Lily's conversion of American, oh, good Lord, Leslie, of American Sampler. And what I did this weekend was I did this upper border up here, and I did the flowers in the wrong color, and I am undecided about whether I'm going to pull those out and redo them or just leave them as is. I actually like the color. I've got no issue with the color, but there are American flags underneath here, and this is the red that's supposed to be in the flag. I should have done the flowers in that color. I don't know. Well, I'll probably put the flags in, see if I think it's too much of the same thing, and at that point decide if I'm going to pull these out and redo the flowers or not. And then I started filling in. I had the yellow and the star, and I started filling in the star last night. I spent a lot of my free time this weekend editing my husband's, his newest book is supposed to come out on January 1st, and I'm his editor because I'm free. So I spent a lot of my weekend doing that. Didn't get a whole lot of stitching done. But again, good progress on this. My plan is just to pull this out periodically, get some work done on it. I want to finish it on or by July 4th of 2026. To celebrate the, I'm going to say this wrong, is it sesquicentennial? If that's not exactly right, look it up. It's a birthday. Happy birthday, America. Okay. And then I did have 2 new starts over the past couple of weeks because I just can't help myself. I think I have actually gotten my whip count down over this past year. A little anyway. And by the way, I do plan to do a whip raid. Probably my next FlossTube, but we'll see. I don't plan well. Well, I plan all the time. I don't execute well. But anyway, one of my 2 new starts was Yuletide delivery from Plum Street Samplers. Very cute. Well, I showed this on my last FlossTube and said that this was something I was thinking about starting. And I said, oh, it's a funny looking Santa. Well, come to think about it, I think it's a funny looking Mrs. Claus. I don't think it's Santa Claus at all. I think that's the female version thereof. But I like that she's got the reindeer pulling the sleigh. And I like that. So I did start. Got a brain in my head. I did start. And I made real good progress on this. This seemed to go pretty quickly. This is on, I gotta look because I don't remember. Oh yeah, I started both my new starts on some of that new Swan Bay linen that I had gotten. And this is dark Sanditon. It is darker. That is more true. And it is not quite as pink for me as what it is appearing on my phone right now. I did iron this, not that you could tell now. Anyway, I've got a good start on that. I may work on that again tonight. I may not. We'll see if I, it's not going to be finished for this Christmas. That's for darn tootin'. But maybe next Christmas. But I'm pretty happy on it. And I really, really like the Swan Bay linen. I am, my big cross-stitch purchasing splurge, I think, for 2026, because I'm trying to do spend less than usual anyway, is I have joined their fabric. I think it's a fabric of the quarter. Anyway, I've joined that so I can get more because I really do like the linen. To me, the feel is similar to Lakeside, and I like it very much. So that's where I got to on Yuletide delivery. And again, that was just miscellaneous flosses pulled from my big old box of silks. Somebody asked to see that. I just forgot to bring it in here. We'll get to that eventually. And then my other start was Christmas tea from Brenda Gervais. Those mice are very cute. She's got a whole bunch of different patterns featuring the little mice, and I would like to do more of them. I think they're adorable. I'm not having a great time stitching this big old cup, but, can't have everything. So I did get a start on this. And apparently I've gotten a stain on this also, but I don't think it'll show when it's finished. But here's my start on Christmas tea. Here's some kind of little stain that I don't know, have any idea what that is or where it came from, but I don't think it'll show when this is finished. Anyway, here is my version of Christmas tea. Now, I have made some significant changes to this. I'm just not a brown beige kind of girl. Doesn't suit my taste and color, and it definitely doesn't suit my personality, which, if you ask most people, would say it's Flamin' Fire Engine Red. But anyway, I changed the cup, which is kind of a brownie beige color on the pattern, to this. It's a very light blue. It actually looks a little bluer for you right now than it is in real life. That is a miscellaneous silk from Silks for You. But I made the teapot a darker teal color and changed this to this very light tealy blue. One of the reasons I did that was I was starting it at the same time, that I started Yuletide delivery. And you'll notice that the sign is a dark teal on here. And I kind of thought if I display them together, that will kind of help pull things together a little bit. I'm not usually that intentional about things, but since I did kit these both up at the same time, that did occur to me to do that. And I didn't want to stitch all that beige. So anyway, my cup is a light blue. My teapot is a teal blue. Mouse will get his skirt done, or the rest of his coat done at some point. But again, made pretty good progress on that. There is a very small border around I think around half of the pattern. And then I've got the rest of the cup to do, but I'm not too far from a finish on that. So I was happy with my progress on both of those. And here are my silks. That's not my silks. These are the silks that go with this one. Those went with the other Christmas one. But this is that light blue, which is a silk of the month from June of this year from Silks for You. And I'm very happy with my Christmas mice. So that's 2 chances at a good picture. I won't get it. We'll see. Okay, that's all that I've been working on. So back to plans briefly. And excuse me for just a second while I get a sip of water. Yakking makes me thirsty. So my plans are, I'm having a pretty good time working on stuff that I've already got started. I have at least one more winter start. It's another Plum Street. I don't remember what it's called now, but I showed it last time if you wanted to see. I may start that the next few days. We'll see. I do have plans for a New Year's Day start, a blessing. I use the word sampler loosely here, but a blessing project for New Year's Day. And then other than that, I'm just going to stitch on what calls to me at any given time, which is what I always do. Steve is off most of the week between Christmas and New Year's, and thank God, because he is really burnt out and he needs some time off. I have to finish editing that friggin' book by the 28th, because it has to be uploaded to Amazon by the 28th to be available by New Year's Day. And let me see if I can. This is a mock-up of the cover for Oh Pluck It. Notice I said pluck, not the other option there. But this will be his new book. It's hilarious, y'all. I'll put a link to it in the drop down also. And y'all say a prayer that I can get that editing done. I am, I think, 8 chapters into 21 or 22 chapters, something like that. So just got to get it done. Other than that, my friend Susan's coming over for Christmas dinner. We're going to go on Friday, the Friday after Christmas, down to Little Rock to see some of Steve's family from Texas who are, hush. They live in Texas, but they still own a farm south of Little Rock. And so we're going to go visit with them for a little bit. And then other than that, I plan to hang out on my couch and get a lot of stitching done. I'll get hopefully a whip parade in the next couple of weeks. And that's about it. That's my plans. I have a very, very little bit of haul to show you. This just arrived today. These are my, I think these will be the November ones. But let me look. Yes, my November Silk of the Month flosses. Those colors are relatively true. Maybe looking a little brighter than what they actually are in real life. But I love my Silks For You membership. I should stop it because I don't need. It's always kind of a relative term, right? I don't really need more floss, more silk floss. But I love silk floss. And it's $21 a month. That's my splurge. And I love it. And I'll put the information on them in the drop down also. And then the one other thing I bought, this is going to be my Phlossing sampler. I was watching Lisa, Kindred Stitcher, maybe Saturday or Sunday one. And she held this up. She had picked up the pattern at Acorns and Threads. And I don't have access to Acorn and Threads, but I fell in love and just thought it was so cute. And it is me to an absolute T. So I went looking, and fortunately this pattern is available as a PDF. So I just bought the PDF and downloaded and printed it. This is from Posie, P-O-S-I-E. And I will try to remember to put a link also to her website. And this is called the Stitchers RSVP. And this is me to a T, y'all. It says, listen, I still want to be invited, but I'm not coming. That is so me. I love you. I'm glad you invited me. Have a great time, but I'm going to sit on my couch and stitch. That's me. That's what I plan to do. So this will be my January blessing sampler. It doesn't have an alphabet per se, but it has words. It's got borders around it. It's got a kitty. I may change that kitty to a Burman looking kitty. We'll see. It's got a house on it. Anyway, it's just adorable. I'll have to see if I have some kind of linen in my stash that will suit that, because I really do like that blue. We'll see what I got. But it's so cute. So cute. Had to have it. Thank you for sharing it, Lisa. I'm glad you did. Not that Lisa watches my FlossTube, but anyway. So that's all I have for you today. It was a real quick one, just 22 minutes. I hope to see you again soon. But in the meantime, I hope that you have a very Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope you have time with your family and just all the joy that your heart can hold. And I hope you have a richly blessed 2026. And I will see you soon. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.